And hello, good morning. This is Rotimi Tayo, streaming live from a special location, and it's like I'm on a mission impossible. My name is Rotimi Tayo once again. This is the Good Morning Education Show, and I'm on the field, and it's a special edition. It's a special Tuesday, and special things do happen. You can see I'm on my nose mask, somehow on my nose mask, something like that. Don't worry about that. Maybe I should take it off so it doesn't get you distracted. And without wasting much time, I'm going to introduce my colleagues to you. And most of us will also be broadcasting from a special location. It's all about education. And this is Lagos, Nigeria, West Africa, to the entire world. And we have Dr. Jude in the building. Jude, good morning. How are you?
Morning, Mr. Rotimi. Good morning, internet, and good morning,
Jude,
colleagues.
I have a confession. Are you ready for that confession?
Yeah.
I
I'm
might be a
listening.
street close to your house.
Oh my
I
gosh.
want the world to see your face. Do you want to beg me?
Definitely.
Okay. And also, let's welcome Ugochi in the building. Very close by.
Good morning, everybody. I'm happy to be here today.
That laughter is a laughter of guilt. Okay, let's not waste time. And there's somebody who is also masking up today. That's Odetola. Odetola, how are you? Good morning. Odetola, are you sure
Hey,
that you are?
his mic is off. Your mic
Oh,
is off.
my mic was actually mute. Good morning, everyone. Good
All
morning.
right. And Titi
Yeah.
also is in the building. Titi, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
And of course, the special one, all the way from a special city called the FCT, Lagos, is waiting to say hello to Dr. Lola Neke. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Now, for those of you who are streaming from wherever you're streaming from part of the world, there's something important and special about the show. The show, we make things happen, whether we're in the city, whether we're on the street, whether we're on the road, whether we're in the air, or probably on the sea, we make things happen. It's always a great time, it's always a great morning, and it's always a special time with you. Do let us know where you're streaming from. Send us your location, your name. If you're the first time caller, I'm not going to ring the bell of blessing to you, but I'm going to wave a wave of blessing to you today. There's no bell in my hand
Yes,
because I'm
sir.
actually out of the Las Vegas studio. So
Navara.
Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, so we'll just take an advert and then we'll go straight to the matter of today. The show is going to be quite brief and short today. We don't want to waste too much time. I will head to this conversation straight up, and then we'll have an advert, and then we'll go to the matter of the day. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the special edition of the Good Morning Education Show. And we have special people all around. Don't be surprised if before the end of the show if some people pop in to say hello. We're going to be having a special time today, and we're talking about something that is not so popular in the conversation around education, especially when we talk about special education or special needs. And I'm always excited to know that we have the guru in the building. I just need to sit down and listen to Lola speak. All my job is done for the day. As long as Lola is in the building, we are fine. Okay. Why is Lola smiling? Lola, I'm not setting you up now. I'm not setting you up, am I?
It's fine, fine.
Okay, so love and relationship in special needs. Some people will be wondering what this is about. So maybe Lola will just give an opportunity to take it off. Take it off. Love and relationships in special needs. Over to you,
Okay,
Doc.
thank you. Thank you so much for interrupting me. This is one topic that generally people shy away from. And you can imagine when a lot of neurotypical individuals or individuals without disabilities shy away from such topics, then what do you think would happen to individuals with disability or special needs? So talking about love and relationship in special needs, I think it simply has to do with um, starting from poverty to relationships and eventually would they ever get married? I think that's what this topic is all about.
Yeah.
And basically, it is all of this is possible for individuals with special needs. It is doable in advanced countries. People, a lot of individuals with special needs get married and they are in relationship. They experience love. They cohabit and all of that. But in this part of the world, because of the knowledge, the depth of knowledge, we realize that it's a dream for these individuals. It's like it's far-fetched. What really we should look at is, and that's why I keep, whenever I talk about special needs and any topic related to special needs, we need to look at the challenges that these individuals are going through when it comes to love and relationship. And as members of the society, as the professionals, what we need to do is now to find out what those challenges are and how we can support them. And that's what basically social inclusion is all about. What are the barriers that individuals with special needs are going through? How can we make these barriers easy for them so that they have access to some of the challenges they're having, which is love. One of the challenges they're having is having a relationship and experiencing love from the opposite sex or other people around them. And for this individual, remember that I said that special needs, it has different categories. There are four major categories. We have the physical disability, we have the developmental or emotional, and we have the sensory impaired. And all of these ones have other breakdowns. But what I realize most especially is those individuals with sensory, cognitive, and developmental disability and behavioral disability are the ones that usually have challenges with relationship and love. Then what are the major challenges they have? Just like every other person, we all have our do's and like and all of those things. What their major challenge is communication and social interaction. And how best can we do that is, as professionals, find out what those challenges are, help them build those skills, social interaction skills and communication skills, and able to actually experience love and relationship.
Okay, so I'll be taking over for now. Thank you so much, Ma, for sharing that. That was quite interesting because I've always wondered how do those with disabilities get into relationship and stuff like that. So now, as someone who doesn't live with a disability, and I have a friend who lives with a disability, how can I help them in terms of love and relationship? Like, is it okay for me to hook them up, or how does that work? How do we contribute?
This topic is very real to me because I remember growing up to, what during poverty and all of those feelings, you're having crush on the opposite sex, how you want to talk to somebody about it, and your friends laugh at you and all of those. They also experience those things too. So for example, the question you asked me now, you want to find out what your friends' challenges are. You want to speak about those things. Just go with teaser. I think you like that guy. Oh, I don't. Oh, what is the issue? Oh, what is your spec? Like I always say, oh, I like him too. They also have they also have who they know what they want, really. But the problem is how do I approach it? And that's where part of the job we do with them, just like we train them. So depending on the kind of disability your friend has, if it's a physical impairment, that also has to do with cognition, or it does have to do with developmental or sensory, some of those challenges that they cannot control, so to say. So if it's someone like that, you just have those discussions with her, find out, okay, so what's your ideal relationship like? What's your ideal life or maybe like, and then you could now think of some of your friends. You could think of some of your friends and you think, okay, this person does not have any problem with the kind of disability this person has got. What is that person looking out for? So
Okay.
you have to know what your friend wants because you can't force anybody on anyone, just like we all know.
Definitely.
Find out what she wants, find out the deficit she has, help her build on those skills. There are times you can even there are some organizations that I know about in developed countries where they have a social club. They come together, talk about what you should look out for when you want to date someone. What are the things you can live with? What are the things you cannot live, you cannot stand? And then you find out what works for you, and then find out the person that can actually accept you for who you are, and then you begin to build. But one thing again is that there are times that just like we have our challenges, we have our little ups and downs in our relationship. They might not know how to cope with it. So they'll always need someone to guide them, to tell them, oh, that wasn't the right move. The way you said that wasn't right. So they always need someone to guide them to be able to move to the next level. So you can actually link your friend up or find out if she's compatible with the person you're linking
The person.
in.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Ma. I'm also aware that we have a lot of abuse in the disability community. As a matter of fact, we know that the smaller children, they're either molested in the home before they can get to speak. And then even sometimes when they are sent to school, I think it was last year where there was this story that went round about the School of the Deaf in Abuja. And then, subsequent situations like that. So how can we equip them, this most especially the younger ones, so that they do not get molested or taken advantage of? Because I feel like sometimes their caregivers, they take advantage of them, most especially in terms of touching their bodies and things like that.
Thank you so much, Ugochi. See, some of these things that we see as far-fetched or things that are not doable with individuals with special needs, they're actually doable. So I'll give you an example. I don't know what the curriculum, I could say I don't know what the curriculum is at our College of Education, but if you're to work with children with special needs, from my own training, you're supposed to learn several skills. One of the skills that you need to learn is socialization skills, social skills, sex education. And when we talk about sex education, it's not the same way you would teach a typical child that you would teach that child with special needs. So I'll give an example. Sometimes I really do not know what the curriculum is in that, but let's give an example of that school that there was an abuse. But when you have children with special needs, you have to build up your curriculum. They must be what they need to know. And how do they need to know it? You're not just teaching them because you are the professional. You're teaching them because they need to explain, because that's part of their life. They need to know some things like social skills, not academic skills, social skills, and sex education. And why are they learning it? The reason that, because most times we don't teach, we don't practicalize it. So for those kind of children, when you're teaching them sex education, you want them to know that your space, you have your personal space. No one is supposed to touch you in your breast, in your penis, in your every part of your body, even your face, your mouth, everything is special to you, it's private to you. Now, another thing you will do with those children, you will not just teach it the way you would just teach neurotypical children. You will model it to them, or you do like a role play where you are probably a cartoon character going on, or even two adults, two individuals in front of them, and then someone touch someone, and then you ask them, did that person, what did that person do wrongly? Find out if the children understand what is going on. Oh, you taught us not to touch one another's breast. He just touched you on your breast. So what do you do in that situation? And then you empower them and point them in the right direction, saying, this is why we're teaching you this. When this happens, this is what you should do. But when those kids, when it's their own teachers molesting them, that means there's the wrong information, the way they're being taught, which I want to believe they're being taught sex education. But why are they teaching them sex education? Why are they been able to help them to understand what they will use it for? Just like we all say, oh, X plus Y equals to Z. We are still looking for X. No, we're not looking for X. So we have not found the application of X, what X should be. And that is the same, I think, is the issue with these children. We are teaching them a lot of things, we're not teaching them how to apply. I remember these children, particularly children with developmental challenges. Some of the people in Nigeria, some of the children with hearing impairment or physical blindness, they are not dumb. They don't have intellectual disability. They can learn, but we overpower them. We feel that they're not in charge. We just make them feel like second citizens. So is that we need to open our eyes to understand that they're first human being. Everything we need to know, they need to know. We need to we have to go the extra mile to explain what they are doing today, so they can see it as strength and power to them. They're not teaching for the fun of it. Giving them the power, helping them to know their rights. Most of them don't even know their rights. They don't know what they're supposed to do, what they're not supposed to do. So all of this, I think, is more attention to. So that these children will understand why we are doing what we're doing, who is the right authority. Let them not. There's something we call dignity and respect for this individual, no matter how small they are. Remember when I was doing my training, if a little child is struggling with something, I can't just come and take over. I will ask, is it okay for me to help you? If he says no, no, it's no. So some of those things that we take for granted is very important. So they will understand their strength and be able to use it to their own advantages.
Fantastic. So Laura, very good question that you answered. But I'd like us to look at one aspect of what do you call it now? relationship, which we don't see so much pronounced. The issue of marriage. We believe that every child has a right, and of course, when they transition to adulthood, they also have rights. Their right um, does not stop, and we believe that they also have rights to get to feel loved. They have the right to love, and they have a right to get married. We don't see it very pronounced. We sometimes see some few, but how do we explore the area of marriages in this spectrum, right? Across spectrum, sorry. So we
Okay.
have to, yes. I want you to talk about that, and then I will also want you to talk about your book that is coming out in October, which is on that issue, love and special needs. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for that question, Mr. Rotimi. And I'll answer it in such a way that now that we know that individuals with special needs can love, they can have relationship, they can get married. The job is now, I'm going to throw it back to one of the questions. I think to back to a particular topic we talked about a while ago. And we would say something about understanding the business of special needs. Remember that special needs is wide and that different needs, just the way every other field has their. So, for example, we talked about counselors the other day. We talk about the teachers when it comes to education. We have psychologists. We have different service providers when it comes to education. That's the same thing when it comes to marriage and dating for this individual. Like I explained earlier on, they have their challenges with social skills, communication skills. So what we need to do as individuals is to identify what is going on. So for example, we have quite a number of professionals. We have psychologists, we have different people in this field. One thing we should start looking out for is how can we have organizations that organize activities such as probably relationship boot camps or dating workshops or have deliberate social gatherings for individuals with disabilities. And why did I say so? One of the things that for us, many of us who are in relationship and we are married, most time when we go to clubs or you go to parties or you go to different areas, you travel, you find people in that community you find yourself in. You know, as the people are connected, probably the person has the same likes that with an attraction. Maybe the person likes animals, for example, or the person likes buildings, for example, or the person likes traveling, for example. That means you might be able to connect with that individual. But for most of these individuals with special needs, they don't have the luxury of even going out to meet individuals. So we as members of the society have to identify that and create that system for them where they can meet with individuals and to be for a purpose. This reason we are gathering today is for is a dating club or something. Just like we have some of these what do you call it, online dating clubs online. You can have that deliberately for them. But before you do that, you need to find out gather your data. How many individuals can I cater for? What are they looking for? What are the kind of individuals are looking to get married to? Tall people that have common interest with them, people that whatever it is, then you gather those information, you add it in one section. Then you add also those that are looking for individuals. Like there's a movie that I watch a lot, and I'm like, wow, this is doable because we realize that most people in developed countries they do it and they get married. They have coaches that walk them through when they're having issues. So I think what we need to do is how can we socially include these individuals? What are the things we need to do when it comes to marriage and relationship? Then the way we have created for ourselves. I know of one lady, I've forgotten her name. That's what she does. She connects individuals who are looking to get married. Then we have to look for ways to connect them by being deliberate, not only being deliberate about having such clubs for them to meet and socialize. You know, there was even one that I saw that they had this they went bowling and every individual they had that they knew what they were looking for. So as they were bowling, a guy walked up to the lady and just talked to the lady. What do you like to do? Would you like to get married someday? What is the ideal guy like and all of that? From that relationship, they go for another date, and before you know it, they are in relationship, they get married. But first and foremost, we have to create atmosphere for them. We have to make sure we understand their needs. We're not discriminating against them. Give them the skills, the social skills they need to communicate, the communication skills they need. It's like a deliberate effort we need to help them with so that they can achieve marriage and the relationship successfully.
Oh, fantastic. I think we need to hear from Jude. If there's any technical and IT related love angle that you might want to share. So, Prophet Jude, over to you.
Really technical. I'm enjoying the discussion with Lola, and I think for me, I think for anyone living with special needs, and I think even most people live with special needs, just that some are more pronounced than the
Yes, you're correct.
other. Me, I have my own special needs, so maybe Lola will
I have my own too.
Yeah, in case Jude.
Oh my
uh,
goodness, Jude.
the truth is that I know I have, but it's just that I've not been able to go through the diagnosis and all that, because it's not a problem.
Oh my God.
Uh, it's true now, Mr. Oti. Why are you laughing? Lola, am I
Okay,
wrong?
sorry. Oh.
We
Lola,
all
am
do.
I
We
wrong?
all do. Just like Jude said, it's just like the level of severity for each and every one of us might not be as
Eh-heh,
pronounced. We all do.
eh-heh, eh-heh.
Directly,
So
you have your own. I know your own.
he's always laughing. That's his always
So, we might need to come to Abuja for assessment.
so basically for what I believe is the basic skills for anybody living with special needs. There's the severe ones that are very pronounced and are diagnosed. Uh, they should be able to fend for themselves in terms of
Yeah.
they should be
Independent living skills.
in
Yeah.
terms of economics, because that
Yeah.
is
Independent
very
living skills.
important.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very important in family. Economics is very important in family, because no matter how you want to uh, uh, make them match up and all that, if they are not economically sound in terms of
Mm-hmm.
making it is going to be difficult for their family, except they have a third party support system, which we know it really doesn't work here for a long time. Because I know like a blind lady. She travels out. She actually has this special kind. It's a normal phone, but she has actually pimped the phone to respond to her voices and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she's economical, so I can say, okay, even if she gets married, as even she's blind anyway, but even if she get married, automatically she's definitely not going to be like a weight down
Independent.
on the family. Yes.
Yes.
So so basically, for those guys, there are social skills which Lola has been talking about, and the economic skills. I think that's the most two important things that is necessary for them to actually start a family, because it's not even actually starting the family is not the problem. It's sustaining the family.
Sustainable.
So
Yeah.
they need the ability to be able to sustain their family, and definitely there's going to be people coming around and all that, but sometimes it might even get to the point that they might not need help again, because they're already
Mm-hmm.
knowing how to balance their interactions with their spouse or whoever they want to get married to.
Thank you so much. That was a great point. Yes. Some of these things, when we talk about it in Nigeria, we don't follow it as it ought to be. And I've heard people in authority, even in the field of education, who say, typical people they've not gotten married. You're thinking of people with special needs. They jokingly say that. But because, like I said, even about those children that Ugochi asked me about, we need to be deliberate about planning this individual's curriculum. In most countries, like I keep referring to, and there's nothing new, you just have to borrow from them. Everything is being planned right from when the child is born. What are the child's skills? What kind of activity? What kind of job the child would be good at? Will the child be able to go to school? Will it be vocational skills? How will this child be able to? How would this individual be able to sustain his or herself when it comes to him or herself? When it comes to finances, like you said, what are the things in place? Are there fundings? What can we do and all of that? But when most of these things, when typical individuals are already struggling with some of these things, then they're like, please, you're asking for too much. Let's deal with the people that are not living with disability first. Then we can come back to you, forgetting that everyone matters. So if all these things are put in place, then getting married for them will not be. It still boils back to education. it boils back to education. It just goes back because if they're not fully equipped to be fully educated and understand their needs and priorities when it comes to humanities and all of that, then like even those that are not physically challenged or have neurodevelopmental disorders, they still have struggles with their marriages. Do you understand? So everything, but what plans do we have from the right from the onset and building a plan, a plan for them all through their lives, and that would also help with their relationship and marriages.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lola. There's someone wanting to say hello to you guys. I don't know if you can recognize her without background.
Oh my gosh.
This is Titi
My
Loves
Titi.
Titi loves Ninja Turtle, so she's living her dreams. Let me come over to some fantastic people here. If you ever have a problem in mathematics, this is the woman
Okay.
to call. Moyo, the life magic man.
Hello.
Hello, Moya.
Do you guys
Oh, Tony.
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 I was talking on the phone.
Hello.
Belowski.
And then we have a special guest.
Yeah, my sister.
Mabala.
So you can see we're on the field. And we also have a very unique lady here. I don't know, most of you might not know her, but we'll talk about her. We should bring her on the show actually. All right.
What's her name?
So we would actually have to end today's show early. And Lola, you've done a great job talking to us about relationships and love in special needs. And we're looking forward to your book coming out on that. Really, everyone has heard it all from the experts. I just had to moderate today. And this is me doing I report from the streets, streets of Lagos. We're trying to make impact.
From
And
the trenches. It's from the trenches.
Yes, yeah. By the trenches. So we're having a statewide training across Lagos, and we're trying to ensure that we do our bit to help develop the education sector. So you can see Safety Chick. Safety Chick is actually like few seconds away from me. She's just hiding. So Safety Chick, come into the frame. Come into the frame. Let them see so they know that this one is not a long thing kind of thing, So, ladies and gentlemen, Safety Chick.
Hello.
Yeah. So now, if you see that I'm darker than the usual complexion, it's not me. It's the laptop and the lights. We are not able to make things lighter like the studio and all that. But it's been a great time, Lola, and we'll see you on Thursday, I believe, for a fantastic time. Dr. Jude, we hope to see you physically or
Yeah.
or spiritually.
I'm always available.
And we hope by then our special needs will be solved. Rhoda, they said that we all have special needs.
But we all do. Good morning, everybody. Hi. Hello. Safety, good working me. Lola.
Rhoda, let me get you jealous.
Don't get me jealous. I've seen everybody. There's Tony. There's Tony, my blood. But I am there. I am there.
Spirit like Jude.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
What are you will have to spill the beans.
No, not online. Some things that you see online, if you are not careful, the tax collector will be knocking on the door.
We're all on the field.
All right.
We're all on the field. I'm on the field too.
Today, and we'll be signing off now. And brother, it was a very good way for you to join at the end of the show.
Thank you.
You want to say something?
Yeah. Oh, just a quick one. I know that you guys we have to go. Everything. I'm so happy about this topic in particular because it's kind of like a myth buster. Because the assumption basically is that people with special needs or people living with disabilities do not find love or are not capable of finding love or building relationships. And that is just a lie, a fat one. And this particular topic, this today, the way Olola addressed the concept, the questions that came from Safety Chick, Jude's very articulate um, expression of the fact that the social and economic needs of this group of people need to be developed strongly and supported, and all of that just brings everything together to let us know that look, we are all, like I always say, we are all in this world loving the same way, breathing the same way, eating the same way, laughing the same way. And so why would love be different? Why would
Yeah.
love be different? So if there's a parent listening, I'll tell you, get your brain power to be more, let your brain be more than your pain. And think about just making sure that your child is fully integrated into the society. And hopefully the education system will come around understanding that when we teach sex education, we're not teaching to some, we're teaching to all. So education must always take cater to all, and I'm glad about this topic. Lola, you didn't say anything about your book.
How you doing,
I know
everyone?
that book is significant.
Rhoda,
That book.
someone is saying hello to you.
Hello.
Okay,
Hello,
that's
sir.
quite good. Today
How
is
come
a
I
significant day,
You see.
guys. Can I say something
Oh, yeah, please
quickly?
do. Yes, please
I
do.
want. This is today marks two. How many years we lost Joseph Aisida?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
September 1st. Wow. Blessed
So in
memory.
memory of him.
Yes,
Yeah.
memory lives on. His memory is a connection that brought us here today. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Wow.
Thank you,
It's
sis, for that
September 1st.
reminder.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you, Rhoda, for that. Thank you,
Yeah,
Rhoda.
you try, you have. Okay, so this show is dedicated to. I don't think he's a doctor. I think it's a prof. You know, there's degrees in heaven. No? Don't let anybody fool you. Learning is never ending. Even in heaven, they learn. You know, they learn about us in Nigeria and Africa and all those things. You know, so we dedicate this show to Joseph Aishida for all he stood for his impact, for his footprint in everyone, and I'm sure everyone on the show today has something remarkable to say about him. You know, I remember the last few conversations we had in person and on the phone. I think the last time I saw him was driving by, and I called him and I said, "I'm behind you." I was tailing him behind, and it was just a way of remembering the funny way he laughs. It doesn't have that echo. You know, I think we have that in common. We laugh alike. We have special needs
you.
in laughter.
That's
So
good.
yeah.
He was a
So
champion for special needs.
and we're
He was.
doing what he loves to do best today as we help to position education further. We're having a convergence today. So we thank God for his life, and we thank God for people like you, Rhoda, Jude, Safety Chick, Larry, everyone. So this is to say, have a great day, have a special day, make it special because it's special and also because of Joseph, right? Thank you, Rhoda. So I think at this point in time, we'll have a wave and say bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. So yeah, man, this. I've been in the training as well.